gamer. We changed it. We switched to primarily Yu-Gi-Oh content, so we're just gonna keep it that way. Anyway, we're here with another deck profile, and I know what you're thinking. I know you think that it looks the same, but really it's not. This one is Zoodiac Tri-Brigade. I just got third place in the locals. I went X1, and this is already the start. This is already the start of me putting it together, pretty much within 30 minutes or within 20 minutes, and a part of the or a big chunk of those 20 minutes was my scatterbrain self searching for the cards to throw into the deck and missing a card, so having to find something else to replace it. So, um, this is the deck. It's a 40 card main deck, obviously, and we're just going to get into the profile. So, we're just going to keep it real simple. For the Tri Brigade monsters, the ratio changes from Lyrilusk. So, right now we're playing 3 Fractal, 3 Nerval, 3 Kit, and then 2 Karas. The reason why you play 2 Karas and then 3 Kit is because you use Kit a lot more than you use Karas. You'd rather just see this over that because you're normal summoning. You actually play All Mirage in this build, so you're going to sometimes normal summon the Kit. Pretty much any 2 Tri-Brigade monsters get you full combo. So it could be Kit Nerval, it could be Fractal Kit, it could be Tenki Kit, whatever. It could be Tenki Karas, it doesn't matter. So with that, you're ending on your Appaloosa Double Dragon Lords because that's generally what this wants to end on. So that's where that gets you. To explain what they do real quick, Fractal in hand or on field can send itself to dump a level 3 or lower Tri-Beast monster, so Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast. Nerval, if it's sent to the graveyard, adds a Tri-Brigade card, and then or Tri-Brigade monster. Kit, if it's sent to the graveyard, dumps a Tri-Brigade card from deck to grave, and then Karas can discard any Tri-Beast from hand to special summon itself. So that's the extra effects, and obviously on field they do the Tri-Brigade shenanigans. So there's that, and then since we're on Zoodiacs, we're only playing 3 Zoodiac names. We play 1 Rat, 1 Ram, 1 Whiptail. Ram just because it's a big booty. Plus you send this off of Rat Pier, and then you get a bunch of bodies engrave, plus basically the Mega Clops combo, except in this deck you're making Farajit with another Zoodiac monster on board. And then finally, Whiptail. Whiptail comes up, it outs like awkward boards. You go Whiptail into something, and then you banish a monster like Winda. So you do weird things like that. Plus, being able to attach as another material is nice, and then beat over something. Ram also is really nice because it because if a trap card targets a Zoodiac XZ monster, then you can just once per turn deal with it. So that's really nice. We're not playing like Cataroost or anything just because I don't see it coming up. So that's nice. Moving on to things that I'll probably cut. I'm currently on 3 Ash and 3 Phantasme. These will probably get moved to the side and be swapped out for Drolls. Phantasme just, against some rogue decks, just doesn't come up, like a bunch of back row rogue decks like Guru and whatnot that actually happen today. Ash is just always applicable. This, though, you'd rather just play this against, or you'd rather just side this in whenever it's needed. So that's why you do that. However, Phantasme allows you to draw into your sides, which is really nice. And then we're on to spells already. So we're playing 3 copies of Tenki and the 1 Foolish Burial. Tenki obviously searching the Fractal or any of your Zoo monsters, so this becomes a lot better. Sorry about the mismatched rarity. I like German cards. And then Foolish Burial obviously is just really another copy of Fractal. That's all Foolish Burial is. It's just another copy of Fractal to load up your grave. In this build, you play 3 Desires. The reason why you play Desires over Prosperity is 1, because your extra deck is even more important in this build over Lyrilusk Tri-Brigade. Lyrilusk Tri-Brigade, you're kind of just building a first turn board to go ahead and make your opponents unable to play. This, you're actually interacting with the opponent. So with your extra deck being your grind game, you need to have that ability to actually grind out your opponent. So that's why you want to play 3 Desires. And then on top of that, the reason why you play it is because you're just digging for more interruption. So you're digging for stuff like your Revolt, your Ice Dragon's Prisons, any trap cards, any hand traps. You're digging for all that. after you're done digging through your deck. So it works like Salad, it works like Pendulum, where you're just digging for more. And that's really nice, and that's where Desires really shines in this deck. Then, obviously, the one Zoodiac, Zoodiac Barrage as the extender. And then on to traps. We're on 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Revolt. This is Return from a Different Dimension. This is Foolish Burial. This is basically a Rhoda. This does so many things all on its own. One of the matches that I won, I was able to go ahead and double Dragonlord, send a card, or send my Fractal on field to load up my grave for 4, or to load up my grave and banish total for 4 during standby against invoke Dogmatica Shadows, and I flipped this during standby still, so that I can just go ahead and banish their set Schism. So the only interruption they had was Fleur de Lis, and I was able to kill them that game. So many things with this card. You're able to go end phase, just banish problem cards. Against Eldritch, you're able to go ahead and just flip this, go end phase, banish your Sanguine, so everything else is turned off. You're able to banish that Alistair so that they can't use any fusion spells. You're able to banish so many different cards. You're able to do so many things with this card. It is so insane. Next set, Lightning Overdrive, this becomes searchable. So this card does so much. Summoning Shuriken, summoning Brugal to set up even more follow-up. Set up two plays of follow-up. Being able to go +2 on your opponent's turn is insane. So you're able to do so many things with Revolt. And then just to make sure that we get to it, we're playing 2 copies of Trap Trick. So the reason why I'm not playing 3 is because I don't own a 3rd, so I just threw in the Dynamishkus, because it does basically, it's just as good. It's more disruption and everything. We're still in a very disruption based meta, so being able to just get these copies of Revolt, being able to get these copies, or to summon your Shuriken, being able to just banish things is nice. And then obviously Trap Trick, this just has so much utility. So you're able to do that with Revolt, banish a copy of Revolt and set it. You're also able to do that with Ice Dragon's Prison. Ice Dragon's Prison right now is insane. There was actually a match where I literally just banished both my opponent's Alistairs. There was a match where this is an activate once per turn, right? So my opponent flips his Guru, and he uses Guru effect to search Fiendus. So I'm like, okay, I activate Ice Dragon's Prison, target the red as black dragon in grave, and then attempt to banish. He chains it, flips the Guru face down, gets his search, and then I go ahead and activate another Ice Dragon's Prison because it's activate once per turn, and he negated the activation, targeting Dark Magician for his Dragoon. Ban it, and then he changed the Dragoon, and I activate Strike to deal with that. And so I get rid of his Dragoon. It's so free. This deck out stuff like Dragoon so free. This card I would never cut. In a million years, probably never cut from this deck, just because this card is so insane. And then finally, for the rest of the traps in the main deck, I'm on Solemn Strike. Unfortunately, they are commons, but they get the job. This being able to just close out chains, just being able to close out things. This basically acts like Super Poly for effects. So since it's spell speed 3, you activate, for instance, up against, say, Dragonlink. You activate Ice Dragon's Prison, target a dragon in their graveyard. They negate with Savage, and then they have Hot Red on board. You change Strike. They can't respond with Hot Red because it's spell speed 3. So that's what that card does. And that pretty much just can win you games there. Then onto the X deck. We are on still the same Tri-Brigade ratios as before. We are on 2 Fairjet, 1 Rugal, 2 Shureg. I was originally playing 3, but I needed to cut to make room for Almirage, because Almirage does come up. Rugal is really good. This comes up during combo. On top of that, this plus Shureg is 6,300 damage on board with Access Code. So that's really nice. Fairjet being able to draw deeper into your deck. There was a match the other day, first play testing with this, where I summoned Fairjet, drew into Desires into Anti-Spell, and I pretty much just won the Shaddoll matchup for that. So being able to just draw, being able to be an upstart and then still put resources that you want in your deck back in is really nice. to search later. So that's why you have to play that. And then next, Almirage, obviously. This is how you play through Lancia. This build, if you notice, loses to Lancia really badly. So what you do is you go ahead and you normal summon, or you go ahead and go Fractal, send Nerval, add Kit, and then you normal summon Kit. Your opponent has to Lancia there. So they Lancia. You make Almirage, Kit send something, and then you set Revolt. Revolt becomes a Revolt, banish a card on their turn, triggers effects, gives you follow-up, and then you still have, on top of that, you still have 3 other cards in hand. So it could have been Ice Dragons, it could have been Ash, it could have been a Phantasme to dig for that Ash, it could be whatever you want it to be. It could be a trap trick for whatever. So that's why you have to play that. That's how you play through Lancia. Then you have Double Dragon Lords. This is basically just Hermetic Seals, but it targets. Excuse me, it targets, and you send stuff like your Nervals from hand. There's instances where you can go like against like Mystic Mime, or well, not against Mystic Mime, but pretty much against like any back row. You can go Twin Twisters, like discard Nerval, and then there's so many different plays you could do, but really just being able to discard like a Nerval and then set up your grave and then bounce a card is really nice. Then you have for the other Link 3, you have Desperate Doom Eagle. You do not understand the satisfaction whenever your opponent activates Invocation and then you use Desperate Doom Eagle effect to target their Alistair and shuffle it into the deck. You do not understand the satisfaction that creates. So, Desperate Doom Eagle is absolutely great. This card is insane. OTKing with this card is nice when they have no monsters in grave. It comes up so little, but you miss it whenever it actually does come up because you can't OTK and you probably would lose that game. So that gives you games that you really should have no business winning. Plus, in a graveyard-focused meta, this interruption is actually really nice. Just being able to have a DD Crow to deck. It's like Madolche. So, it's an... Tri-Brigades have an honorary Madolche. We'll just go with that. Waifu tax. Then we have Appaloosa and Access Code Talker. Appaloosa is part of your end board. You generally end on this plus Double Dragon Lords plus set Revolt. So that's the end board for this variant. And then Access Code, obviously, to close out games that you have no business winning. And then for the zoos, we're on Chakanine, Drident, Tiger Mortar, and Borbo. And of course Zeus, which is our honorary Zoodiac monster. So Chakanine and then Drident is your go first play. Chakanine is able to give you follow-up. Then on top of that, you do Tiger Mortar, and all these basically get you your Mega Clops combo. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the way that works is you go, you normal summon a rat, overlay for Chalk, or send Ram, Chalk, detach, summon Ram, make Drident detach, pop Ram, summon back Chalk, overlay for Tiger Mortar, swap materials, summon back, and then you have 3 Zeus. So that's how you do that. And then of course Zeus. Zeus is just a free normal summon out to Dragoon, or problematic cards like that. So literally all you do is you just Borbo, Chalk, Mortar, Zeus, and then you're free there. So that's why. And then on top of that, the zoo cards are just really nice. So then on to the side deck. We played 3 copies of Draw and Lockbird. Like I said, this was probably going to go into the main. I saw this coming up more often than Phantasme. Plus, it conflicts with Phantasme. Being able to draw off a draw, or just being able to stop your opponent searching. In this, then again, I played up against 3 Dogmatica invoked tonight, or 3 Invoke Shaddoll, so that might change. However, Droll and Lockbird is probably getting swapped out into the main. Then we have, for the rest of the hand traps in the side deck, just 2 copies of Lancia. I had 2 free spots, so I didn't know what to throw in. So I thought Lancia was really good. It helps against Dragon Link whenever you're going first. It helps against Shaw Invoked whenever you're going first. It helps against the Tri-Brigade Mirror, Dinos, whatever. Just so many different. It helps against just a bunch of rogue decks, really. So pretty much any rogue deck, this really deals with like your Tri-Brigades. It deals with, like I said, your Dinos. Like it deals with so many different things. Plus they're secret rare, so you gotta play them. Then for other going second cards, we are on 2 Alpha and 1 Pinkertops. Alpha is super, super broken, and this card does not get enough attention. Just summoning this breaks the whole Dragon Link board on its own. So it breaks, or at least deals with 2, maybe even 3 interruptions. So literally all you do is you special summon Alpha, go battle phase, and then they have to bounce it, right? Okay, so they have to bounce it. It is not once per turn to summon. So they bounce it with, say it's tidying. Okay, so you deal with tidying there. Then you go ahead and special summon again. Effective Alpha, target itself. They have to negate it with Savage. Special summon it again. So it just puts so much pressure on board. On top of that, it's a beast. So you can make like Fairjet with it. You can make Shureg with it. You can make Rugal with it. You can make whatever you want with this card. So it does so much. And then Pinkertops, just for back row decks, this card is super insane right now. Thank God they banned VFD so I could play my boy Spank Pank. Pinkertops is so nice. Just being able to slap this on board against any trap deck and just go battle phase and just break whatever you want to is really nice. So you have to play that right now. And then for going first, we're on 2 copies of Anti-Spell and 1 Imperial Order. This pretty much wins your hardest matchup, which is Invoke Shaddolls. Invoke Shaddolls with Super Poly, this deck can't really play around it too well. Schism can just send your way of ending games. Schism can do so many different things. Double Window's difficult for this deck to out in instances. So that's why you have to play these. Being able to just go Anti-Spell and shut down more than half of their deck, shut down their Nadir Servant, shut down their Shaddol fusions, their invocations, their meltdowns, their whatever is really, really good. Then finally, for back row decks, we are on 2 Twin Twister, 1 Feather Duster, and 1 Red Reboot. This makes OTKing free. Twin Twister is really nice going first too. It serves as a good interruption. Hold on, we're just gonna talk about this for a second. We're gonna talk about those first. Twin Twister is super insane right now. If your Dogmatica Dogmatica player sets 2, that's a Schism and a Punishment, right? You go Standby Phase, Twin Twisters, discard Nerval. You get a free search, you get another Body Engrave, or you send Kit. And you deal with the Schism, you deal with whatever you need to there. Prank Kits, they set 2, and then you go Standby Phase, Twin Twisters. They can't activate that because it is only during main phase. So Twin Twisters is super insane, being able to go just Standby Phase anything. You play this against like a random rogue deck like Salad. Like Salamangreat, you just deal with their Roar and Rage right there. So it just doesn't matter. Then finally, Red Reboot, free wins against trap decks, and then Harpy's Feather Duster just to blow them all out of the water. So, thank you guys for watching this deck profile. I know it was super, super, like, over the top and everything, but I have been in such a good mood with this game. This format is really good. The only insanely oppressive card right now is Super Poly. So this format's really, really insane, and I'm super, super glad to be able to play in it. Went X1. I've been doing really, really well with this deck. Eventually it's going to get hit, and I'm going to be so sad because this is the first like top tier deck that I'll ever be playing in my life. So, oh man, it's so good. However, thank you all for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe, leave a like. Check out the Discord down below. I've been really, really trying to interact with my Discord a lot more. So feel free to check them out, or feel free to check us out down there. Check out Core TCG. That's where I played at. A link to them will be down in the description, as well as any other remote duels that I really play in. Check out Team Pie for Life, the people that I play test with. Team Pie for Life is filled with so many good players. It is insane. So please check them out, and shout-outs to all of them. Shout-outs to my girlfriend for getting me into the game. Thank you, Danielle. I love you. Yeah, have a good night.